India's largest hallmarking group of companies introduces jewelry certification card. Purities are surety. Prince and NAKODA hallmarking centers. RM group of companies.
First, the jeweler brings it to the receiving section, where it is weighed, counted and checked for suitability for hallmarking, and then the jeweler is given a receipt with the advice to take it back after about 5 hours. Then entries are made in the job card, which goes for further processing after coding so that the testing personnel do not know the identity of the jeweler. Each piece in the consignment is checked by XRF for purity and for presence of impurities in gold. Each consignment is divided into lots having similar form, design and purity. The sampler draws sample by scraping or cutting from each lot for assaying. Assaying is a process of testing for determination of purity of gold by chemical testing. Each of these samples is melted in graphite crucible separately so that it becomes homogeneous piece. After that, these samples are flattened, then rolled into small strips, then cut so as to get 2 pieces out of each samples for testing in duplicate. These are then weighed, and then an appropriate amount of silver is added to each. These are then wrapped in lead foil and made into small balls, which are then put into cupellation furnace for cupellation. By this process, all base metals like copper are removed and only gold and silver remain in the sample. These small balls are then taken out, cleaned, flattened and annealed. They are then rolled to form strips once again. The strips are then checked for thickness, which has to be uniform for proper testing. Then the strips are annealed and numbered so that they don't get mixed up in the further processing. After numbering, they are rolled by hand to form loose rolls and put into quartz trays for dipping in acid for removing silver. After washing, they are again heated in furnace and are taken out for weighing once they cool down to room temperature. Purity of gold, for which is known as fineness, is determined from the difference in initial weight and the final weight of the sample. Lots that pass are hallmarked by laser marker. The hallmark jewelry has 4 marks: BIA standard mark for hallmarking, the purity, the hallmarking center's logo, and the jeweler's logo or identification mark. Jewelry of only 3 fineness are allowed to be hallmarked: 916 parts per thousand, which is abbreviated as 916 ppt, 750 ppt and 585 ppt, corresponding to 22 carat and 18 carat and 14 carat. The hallmark jewelry and the failing jewelry without hallmarking is handed back to the jeweler at the end of the process, when the jeweler comes to take it back.
India's largest hallmarking group of companies introduces jewelry certification card. Purities are surety. Prince and NAKODA hallmarking centers. RM group of companies.